All right, guys. A little 1978 baseball for you. And if you go to my page, I uploaded a documentary on the 1978 season called 14 Back, which I haven't seen until a couple days ago. Um, just because it's hard to find. It was on SI's TV network thing, and then it was on Amazon, but then it wasn't on Amazon. So it's a really good documentary, and it really like I love watching documentaries anyway, but especially when I'm going to replay a season, especially a season that I wasn't really alive for. I mean, I was 4 years old during the season, but I don't really count it as being kind of in tune into the baseball world. So um, but it was great. So we're gonna replay the '78 season from the Red Sox perspective, and we're going to keep an eye on the Yankee game as well. So whenever the Yankees are playing, we'll keep an eye on that game and so forth and do it that way. Okay, so that's the plan for this. We're using PC Replay Baseball, my favorite replay baseball game, my favorite as played game. We're playing as played. I'm going to manage the Red Sox, but how I do the managing is simple. Okay, we play the lineups, we play the pitcher, I handle the bullpen when to pull the pitcher. I'll pinch hit people, but say for example, if Jim Rice, who is the MVP of the season, if he has a day off, he's not in the lineup and he's available, I'm going to give him the day off. Now I may pinch hit him, but I'm not going to pinch hit him in the fourth inning and have him play the rest of the game. I'm going to treat it like a day off. If I need him late, I'll pinch hit. I'll bring him as a pinch hitter, but then he won't go in the field. Okay, I'm gonna have to put somebody else in the field because I'm gonna try to treat it realistically in terms of he's got a day off or he's injured or he's battling an injury, whatever it is. I'm gonna try to be realistic in that way because otherwise, and listen, everyone plays their own way. I've played season before where you simply go ahead and you manage the lineups as well, which is fun to do as well. But I'm trying to kind of keep the lineups and trying to keep the season as played as much as possible and see what the dice tell us. The dice will will maybe reveal a different result. Hopefully, it does a different result. Hopefully, it reveals a Red Sox AL East title, but we'll see. All right. So opening day actually is in April 5th. There's one game on the schedule, so we're going to play these games out a little bit first. Minnesota and Seattle. The Twins with a win, 6-5. Rich Weiniger hit a home run there. It looks like Rupert Jones is the MVP for the Mariners, even though the Mariners lose. So 6-5 there. April 6th on the Thursday, Twins and Mariners to go at it again in the Kingdom. And Dick Pole gets the win for the Mariners, old Red Sox player. 7-3. Looks like Shane Raleigh got the save. I don't remember Shane Raleigh being a bullpen guy or a closer. Um, Looks like Norwood and Stintz win home runs there. So I'm not sure why 78, um, why they had the Mariners and the Reds open it up, but usually the first game is in Cincinnati. So interesting. So here we go. J.R. Richard versus Tom Seaver. It's a good ball game right here from Riverfront Stadium. And 8-0 Houston. 3 hits. Let's see what Richard did here. Look at that. Rose got 2 hits. And Dave Collins pinched it for 1 hit. So let's take a look real quick what J.R. Richard did. He goes 8 innings, 3 hits, walked 8, struck out 9. So a little bit wild, but he's fun. He's going to be fun to track right there. Does he get the blood clot in '78? When does he get his blood clot in his arm? I forgot if '78 is a season where he has the short season. I probably can kind of tell from this. Let me go real quick. Now I'm curious. No, it's a full year, so it must have been maybe it was 80. Must have been 80. I want to say because that's when he made the AL the NLCS, and I don't think he pitched in that. So he had a full year, 18-11, 3.11 ERA with a WHIP of 1.21. So, all right. So it's a good job there. Let's take a look at the opening day. We got Glenn Borkman. I love this little replay stuff there for the full days here. Roy Smalley in there. All right. So it's real opening day now is when all the teams are playing. Well, all the teams, the Yankees aren't playing. I'm probably guessing the Yankees got rained out. Let me see here. Let me see if who the Yankees play on this. They're playing Texas, so apparently usually no doubleheader there. I'm sure they have a doubleheader on Sunday. No, it's kind of a weird schedule there. So the Yankees don't play tomorrow. Guidry versus Matlack, and of course we play tomorrow with Eckersley in the mound. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll do the simulcast and kind of keep the scores going. We won't pay attention to much of them though. When the Yankees are playing at the same time, we will. But in here, so let's do a little game simulcast. If you've done this before, you click on this and you go to the game that you're going to play, and that's the game you start. And we do start simulcast. Turn that down a little bit. Loud. Love the music though. So the White Sox, the AL make all the White Sox moves. Lineups. Got Remy leading off. This is his first year with the Red Sox. His first game with the Red Sox right here. 78. Burleson at shortstop. Jim Rice did DH. He wins the MVP in 78. His best year. And one of the best years in American League history up there in terms of, at least, post-war up there. Yaz in left and cleanup. Fisk catching it in fifth. Freddie Lynn hitting sixth. I'm surprised Lynn's so far down the order, but it's amazing how different batting orders are like back then in terms of, how we do things nowadays. Like Burleson would never hit 2 in today's game. Usually you put your best hitter now, number 2. I have a feeling that Rice would probably be in there in the 2 spot. If this was in 2023, you'd have Rice in the 2 spot. You might have Lynn leading off. But George Scott first base. Dwight Evans hitting 8th in right field, and Butch Hobson in that. That's a stack lineup right there, boys. That's a stack lineup. This is a really good team. And the one thing watching that documentary was just how loaded this Red Sox team was, because in 78 they got pitching. Like in 77, which is the season we're probably going to play as well down the road. I know Uncle Ron is doing a off-channel Cards and Dice 77 season, I think, with Strat maybe, and they're fun to play because they have no pitching. I mean, they're maddening, but in 78 they got pitching. They picked up Mike Torres, who is pitching today in the offseason. They traded for Eckersley as well to go along with Bill Lee. So they picked up 2, bona fide aces in the offseason, and that made a huge difference. So, all right. White Sox got Ralph Garr leading off. George Orta, Lamar Johnson, Bobby Bonds, Barry's father, great ball player, talent. Not the best, not the career. He had a decent career, but he was kind of tabbed as being a Hall of Famer, and didn't quite live up to that. I think he had some alcohol and drug problems off the field. Ron Bloomberg, the first ever DH. Chet Lemon, center field. Eric Soderholm, Wayne Nordhagen, and Don Kessinger, and of course Steve Stone. When I think of Steve Stone, I think of the broadcaster. Once again, 78. I'm 4 years old in 78, so the first season I really remember watching as a kid was probably like 1983, and so anything before 83 I know about through documentaries and kind of watching those things too. So, Al, a Red Sox fan here. Al, a Red Sox fan. Yeah, 2017, I've got that season 2, Al, and I thought about doing that one first because the documentary I watched the other day goes into detail a lot with the 2017. And I know it's a kind of a fun team because they're, but I want to do 78 just because this Red Sox team is so loaded. And it's amazing how they didn't win that. And really, I blame Don Zimmer and his grudge with Bill Lee. I mean, he put his grudge ahead of trying to win the game. He took Bill Lee out of the rotation just because he didn't like him, because Bill Lee would mouth off about him in the press, and just to spite him, and that's the difference. I mean, that's the difference right there. And Billy Martin was the same way. Reggie Jackson. The difference was they fired Billy Martin. Billy Martin got fired, and Bob Lemon, played the best guys, and that was the difference. So it's fascinating stuff. All right, so let's play a little baseball. We're in Comiskey Park. It's a day game.
From Chicago. Top of the first.
I'm going to change this picture. I like using the OOTP pictures. Let's see if I have it up here. There we go. I like using the pictures that the mod community made of the OOTP out of the park baseball. I just like it better. I just like it as a background better. That's just me. So anyway, here we go. Steve Stone, Jerry Remy, his first year as a Red Sox, the Rem Dog, and Remy was good. People forget too, and I didn't really get to watch Remy play either. But just watching a lot of the highlights of him, he could play. People think of him like me. I think of him as Rem Dog in the booth and the accent and the he's kind of goofy. He's great, okay, but he could play. He could run. He could hit. He could play defense. I mean, he just put the bat in the ball. He was clutch. I mean, he was a good ball player. So you kind of forget who Remy was, because he had that second career that kind of overshadowed almost his baseball playing career. But he could play. He could play ball. Oh, here we go. Steve Stone. What did Steve Stone do that year? Let's take a look. Stone went 12-12 with a 4.37 ERA. He says he won the Cy Young. I think he won the Cy Young in 1980. I think he won the Cy Young. He's a Cy Young Award winner, though, I think. At least once he's won. Here we go. Rem Dog is up. Fly ball left field, and Gar takes care of it. One away.
One out, base is empty.
And here comes the Rooster, Rick Burleson. Another guy that I don't really appreciate well, because when I was introduced to Burleson, he was pretty washed up. 86, 85, those seasons, he was kind of washed up and kind of at the end of his career. But people who are a little older than I am, who are Red Sox fans, are big Rick Burleson fans. I mean, they love Burleson. He strikes out. So 2 gone. And here he comes. Jim Rice, my first favorite baseball player. Now, I didn't really get to see Jimmy in his prime. I remember him in 85. He was really good. In 86, he was really good. 87, he started to kind of drift off. 88, he couldn't see the ball anymore. And it was sad to watch. I'm 14 years old going to Fenway, and he could not see the ball. He wouldn't wear glasses. He wouldn't wear contact lenses. And, and his career was over pretty much after that. But this is vintage Jim Rice. I mean, the season he had, 315, 46 homers. Okay, he could hit. I mean, 315. He wasn't just a home run guy. He could hit the ball. 213 hits. 25 doubles. 15 triples. He could run back then, too. He didn't steal bases, because the Red Sox couldn't steal bases. But 58 walks. He struck out a little bit. He struck out a bunch. But unreal. I mean, total bases. He had 400 total bases that year. Over 400 total bases. So. DH in today. Jim Ed Rice from Anderson, South Carolina. About 2 hours away from where I'm sitting right now. And he strikes out. And Steve Stone looks tough. Gets a little lazy fly ball to left and strikes out Burleson and Rice. So here is Mike Torres. Mike Torres, of course, pitched for the Yankees in 77. Came over as a free agent deal. And when he came over, he trashed his former team. He trashed Thurman Munson. He trashed Lou Piniella. He trashed him. And, of course, things did not turn out well for Mike. He had the home run to Bucky Dent. And he gets booed by Red Sox fans throughout. In the documentary, he said he actually regrets now leaving the Yankees because he gets booed by Red Sox fans, even today. Let's see if he can take care. So Torres on the season, 16-13, 3.96 ERA. I mean that's not great for a big free agent pickup who's your ace. I mean, Eckersley becomes the ace of this team, but he was the kind of guy you picked up to be the ace. So, not great. Here's Gar. Fly out center field. Freddie Lynn with it.
1 out, bases empty.
Lynn tracks that one down. George Order comes up. I remember Order playing for the Royals in the 80s. Good ball player. Fly ball left field. The captain, can the captain get to it is the question. Can the captain get to it? And Captain Carl, he's an old man at this point, but this whole season is about Yastrzemski trying to get Yaz that title. This was his last shot, as it turned out. I mean, he retired in '83, but this is really kind of the last great Red Sox team. 81 team wasn't bad. That was a weird season. 82 team wasn't bad either. I may play that season. That season's coming out. 82 PC Replay Baseball's got 82 coming out in a few weeks. That team was kind of in the hunt a little bit too, but this team was dominant. This was his last team that could really win a World Series. Deep fly out the right field, and like Dewey Evans is there. Dewey with that
top of the second.
With that 5 rating out there into the field. Here is Captain Carl. What did Carl do in '78? 277, 17 homers, 81 ribbies, 423 slugging. He walked 76 times. He struck out 44 times. That's pretty good. Ground ball, third base, and he's out. So 1 down here.
1 out.
Here comes Pudge. No Yankee game today, so we can't track the Yankees. They play tomorrow in Texas, open the season tomorrow, with Ryan Guidry in the hill. So Fisk goes down, so 2 away. Here's Freddie Lynn. And Lynn takes that one deep. Freddie Lynn, his first at bat of the season, and he goes yard. It's Red Sox 1, White Sox nothing. Freddie Lynn gets the season going here for the Red Sox with a towering shot. And here comes George Scott now. What did George do in his '78? 233, 12 homers, 54 ribbies. So not a great year for the Boomer. I think he had a better season the previous season. Of course, George Scott was brought back. He was in the '67 team. And then Kane was with the Brewers for a while and came back. And he strikes out there in the inning. But the Red Sox get a run here. Freddie Lynn goes deep.
1 hit and none left on.
Off of Steve Stone.
Bottom of the second.
And now Torres facing Bobby Bonds. What did Bonds do in '78? 267, 31. Big year for Bonds. He can play. 43 stolen bases. So he's a 30-30 guy this year. 9 homers away from being 40-40. So that'll be something to kind of track this year too. If Bonds can maybe have the dice roll for 9 more homers and get those stolen bases and go 40-40 for '78. Something to watch as we play this season. Boom to the moon is right. Leaping catch by the Rooster. And that's why Red Sox fans, slightly older than me, love Rick Burleson. I love Marty Barrett. Marty Barrett was my guy at second base. I love Marty Barrett. And so I understand liking those guys that aren't the superstars, but are the kind of the glue guys, you know. So I get it. So Marty Barrett still, I know Marty Barrett probably, like 10 people know who Marty Barrett is, you know, walking down the street. But I love me Marty Barrett. So Burleson's probably that guy for Red Sox fans a little bit older than I am. Here's the first ever DH, Ron Blomberg. In real life, in his opening day, the Red Sox lost the game 6-5. Had a 5-4 lead in the 9th inning. Dick Drago came in and gave up 2 runs, one of them being a solo shot from Blomberg. So an FYI, let's hope that doesn't happen today. Short fly out. The captain's there. The captain taking care of business. And here is Chet the Jet Lemon. Pop out to third base. Butch Hobson's there.
It's a 1-2-3 inning. Top of the third.
Butch Hobson's another guy for me as a Red Sox fan. I don't know. I don't think he was a player. I remember him as a manager, and good God, he was not a good manager. He was not a good manager. So I'm trying to forget that part about him. I know he's got power. I know once again that Red Sox fans a little bit older than I am are fans of Butch. If you listen to Chad Finn, who writes for the Boston Globe, he loves Butch Hobson. I mean, he talks about Butch Hobson like I talk about Nomar. Here's Dewey Evans, one of my favorite players. And he strikes out.
Base is empty.
Dewey's in my Mount Rushmore of favorite Red Sox players. And here comes Butch Hobson. Butch, 250, 17 home runs. And there's a double for Butch in the corner. Butch getting it done.
One out, man on second.
And here comes the Rem dog. Remy fly ball to left field his first time up. And he singles center field. That's what Remy does. Hits with guys on base. So we send Butch. So we send him. We got Burleson on deck. One out. We got Rice in the hole. Let's be aggressive. Let's make them make a play. Let's make them make a play, for crying out loud. And he's out at home. That's okay. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to be aggressive this season. I'm telling you right now. We're going balls to the wall. We got nothing to lose. We're trying to recreate. We're trying to change history. We're not trying to relive it. We're trying to change it. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to be anti. Don Zimmer would have held him. I'm going to send him. That's what I'm doing right now. Anything Zimmer would have done, I'm doing the opposite. 2 outs. Here comes the Rooster. Ground ball, third base. And he's out. That ends the inning. It's 1-0.
No runs, 2 hits, and 1.
Red Sox lead.
Bottom of the third.
I'm not trying to jinx anybody right now, but Mike Torres does have a no-hitter going right now. How would that be? Opening day no-hitter? I'm just putting it out there. I'm not trying to jinx it. I'm just putting it out there. Ground ball to Butch. This could be dangerous here. This could be okay. Butch got him out. Ground balls to Butch Hobson could be a challenge this season. Could be a definite challenge. Nordhagen. I don't remember this guy at all. I don't know who Wayne Nordhagen ever is. Ground ball to Butch again. Look at Butch Hobson. Butch Hobson goes, give me the damn Gold Glove this year.
Base is empty.
I'm winning the Gold Glove this year. We're changing history, for crying out loud. Here's Don Kessinger. I remember Kessinger a little bit. Know the name. And Don Kessinger breaks up the perfect game and no hit bid all in one swing. There's a single to center field. Here comes Ralph Garrett, top of the order. He flied to Lynn. Here's a ground ball to Remy. Remy gobbles it up, throws him out. So the White Sox did a run, but that's it.
1 hit and 1 left on.
And we go to the top of the fourth. Red Sox 1, White Sox nothing, and a Fred Lynn bomb. And here comes Jim Ed Rice, my boyhood hero, my favorite player. He still might be my favorite player. I think Nomar probably passed him, to be honest with you. I think Nomar has nudged him out in that thing. I'd probably go Nomar and then Rice. And then Roger Clemens, I have all kinds of mixed emotions with Clemens. He was my boyhood hero too. I have all kinds of mixed baggage with Roger. So he's in a different category. But I think it's Nomar right now and Rice, 1A, 1B. The difference being I saw Nomar's whole career. I saw his prime, the whole deal. I didn't really get to see Jim's prime. I saw really 2 good years from Jim. And Jim strikes out there. So he's going to strike out a bunch this season. But he's going to do some damage as well. 1 down. Here comes the captain. He's 0 for 1. He grinded to third base his last time up. Uh-oh. This could be a single here. Let's see. It's not going to be a single. We got teased a little bit by Replay Baseball. I love this game. I tell you what, I know Al. I love watching Al stuff when he plays PC Replay Baseball. I just love this game. Like I try other games. I try out, but I just and I know in the rooms I always talk about this game. Probably people get sick of me talking about PC Replay Baseball, but I just think it's the most fun game to play. I love this. I love how they do things. Sports Time Machine's here. Sports Time Machine's got cool stuff to watch too. So, but it's my favorite game. It's probably my favorite. It's my favorite baseball game for sure. It's probably my favorite game. It's past out of the park baseball, and I still play out of the park baseball a ton. But I play fictional stuff on out of the park baseball for the most part. And I like playing matchups, World Series, historic matchups, but not for season replays. Here's Pudge. He struck out his last time up. Fly ball to end the inning. So 1-0 Red Sox still.
And just
a
like
half
that,
inning, I
the
should
inning's
say.
over.
Gotta take a drink. My voice is finally back. I was sick for like 2 weeks. I don't know what I got, but good Lord. All right. George Orta's up. Facing Torres, the newly acquired ace in the offseason from the Yankees. Uh-oh. This is not good. Give me a 1. Give me a 1 right now. If this is a 1, we're going to win it all this year. If it's not a 1, then I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to say. But home run. Orta goes deep. We're tied at 1. I thought maybe I can get a nice... Sometimes the dice...
No outs, bases empty.
Roll in your favor. 1-1 now. Here's Lamar Johnson. Ground ball back to Torres. He'll take care of it.
1 out, bases empty.
Here comes the dangerous Bonds up right now. Uh-oh. He flies out deep. Yes, has got it.
2 outs, bases empty.
Bloomberg's up. Ground ball to the Boomer. Let's take a look. Is it an error? It is an error. So George Scott has a tough time fielding that ground ball, and it'll go as an error.
2 outs, man on first.
So a 2-out error there, and that'll bring up Chet the Jet Lemon, who popped up to third. Ground ball to Hobson, and Hobson makes the play. He's made 4 plays today.
1 run, 1 hit, 1 error.
Butch Hobson wants the Gold Glove right now. Right now. If you had to give out a Gold Glove right now for third base, American League, I think you give him to Butch Hobson right now. Granted, it's game 1. But still. Here comes Freddie Lynn. He went deep his first time up. Took a Steve Stone curveball deep. Here's a ground ball to Orta. And he is retired. 1 away. Here comes Boomer. Made the errors last inning. Trying to redeem himself here at the plate. And he strikes out for the second time tonight.
2 outs, bases empty.
This was a 1:30 game in Comiskey Park on April 7th, 1978. Here's Dwight Evans. Ground ball back to Stone.
And just like that, the inning's over. Bottom of the 5th.
Bottom of the 5th. We're halfway through. Let's get the scoreboard real quick. Yankees not in action today. They open their season tomorrow. A's leading California 2-1. Tigers over the Blue Jays. Twins and Seattle open their 3rd game of the year. They're in game 3 of the season. Twins and Mariners. Houston over Cincinnati 2-0. The Braves lead the Dodgers 3-2. I'm sure Skip Carey is enjoying that one. And Milwaukee and the Orioles are tied at 3. Yankees open tomorrow against Texas. We got a rare play here. Rare play. Let's take a look what happens here. Chopper down the third baseline. Uh-oh. Look at that right there. A high throw from Butch Hobson, which happens a lot. He's got bone chips in the elbow now. And George Scott makes the play. So, that's always a good sign. Always a good sign. Here's Nordhagen. One away. Fly out to Evans. Dewey Evans is there.
2 outs, base is empty.
Here comes Kessinger, who singled his first time up. And he fouls out the shortstop to Burleson. Burleson comes over, makes the play. We're through 5. It's 1-1.
Top of the 6th.
Adam Gould, don't make me hurt you. Adam Gould, an old buddy. We used to go to Reds games together back in the day. Some 20 years ago. All right, here we go. Here's Butch. And Butch goes down. So Butch is struggling. Well, actually, he doubled his last time. So that's not true.
Base is empty.
He's 1 for 2 now. Here's the Rem Dog. There could be trouble. Bonds trying to get it. And it's a single. Bobby Bonds can't get to it. Remy is on.
1 out, man on first.
Remy's got some speed, too. He's not going to steal here, though. 1 out. Burleson's up. We might do a little hit and run. We're going to do a little hit and run. Because Don Zimmer would not do hit and runs. We're going to do hit and runs. Everything Don Zimmer did, we're doing the opposite this season. A little hit and run action.
Hit and run.
Fouled it off.
1 out, man
Fouled
on
it
first.
off. So the hit and run's called off. And there's a double in the corner. Will it score Remy? It would have scored him the hit and run for sure. It will not score him.
1 out, men on second and third.
So 1 gone, second, third. Here's Jim Rice. Jim Rice is going to take this guy deep right now. I can feel it. It's about to be 4-1. They walked him. They're afraid of him. They walked him to get to Captain Carl Yastrzemski.
1 out.
Bases juiced. 1 out. 1-1. The captain's up. Deep fly to left field. The Remy will score easily. So it's 2-1 to Red Sox. Yaz just missed that one too. He just missed it. Just missed it.
First and second.
In Fenway Park, that might be off the wall. Here comes Pudge. Fly out center field. Ends in the end. The Red Sox get a run. 2-1 Red Sox.
2 hits and 2 left.
Bottom of the 6th inning.
Bottom of the 6th.
Gould, you need to come down to Carolina and hang out with me for a little while. You need to make a trip down here. I haven't seen you in a long time, buddy. Ground ball to Burleson. And Burleson, the vacuum cleaner,
1 out.
takes care of that. 2-1. Mike Torres is a 2-hitter right now. Here's Orta, who homered his last time up. And he flies up to Evans right there.
2 outs, base is empty.
Lamar Johnson up now. 2-1 game. Lines out to Evans again. Dewey Evans getting some work tonight.
They go down quietly, nothing doing this half inning. Top of the 7th.
Here's Lynn. Lynn's homered and grounded out. And he flies out to center field. Chet the Jet Lemons there.
1 out, base is empty.
Here's George Scott.
Ball 4. Take your base.
Walks him right there.
1 out, man on first.
Let's do a quick score check because Adam Gould's a big Reds fan. And the Reds are down 2-0 right now to the Astros in Riverfront Stadium. Here's Dwight Evans. Ground ball to Kessinger. And a double play to, let's see, it could be double play. It could be a double play. And it is. The Red Sox will hit in the double plays.
No hits.
That's one thing they've done through the 70s and the
Bottom of
80s.
the 7th.
They were double play machines. So it's stretch time in Comiskey. We'll take a little drink of water. Get a little bag of peanuts and popcorn, Cracker Jack. Here's Bonds. Bonds 0 for 2 today. Ground ball to Scott. This could be trouble. And George Scott can't get there. So Scott's made an error today, and that ball gets past him. It's a single. Bond's going to try stealing, I think. Let's see. He's caught stealing. Do not run on Carlton Fisk. You don't run on Pudge.
Base is empty.
Bonds tries to run on Pudge, and he's nailed. 1 down. Bloomberg is up. And Butch Hobson takes care of that little pop-up. 2 gone.
2 outs, base is empty.
Chet the Jet is up. Torres is cruising along, but he's got 7 batters left in his stamina. He might get a little boost, though, on that. Our bullpens kind of give you an idea of our bullpen here. We've got Bob Stanley. Good God, he gives me nightmares. I have nightmares from '86 still. Soup Campbell. A little before my time in terms of, I remember with the Tigers back when I was a kid. But, of course, he was really good with the Red Sox. Drago, who in real life gave up the game in the opener. And of course, the rotation. Eckersley pitches tomorrow. He starts tomorrow, so that 1 means extra name. He's got 1 day for his next start. Then Bill Lee goes next, and then Alan Ripley goes after that. So Tiant, I can technically use Tiant out of the bullpen. He's not really in the rotation right now. But here we go. Chet the Jet's up. Ground ball to the Rooster. And he's out.
No runs, 1 hit, and none left on.
Gouldy, text me your or tweet me, message me on Twitter your cell phone number, and I'll text you. We'll work something out. All right, here's Hobson. Fly ball to Chet the Jet.
1 out, base is empty.
Here comes Rem Dog. Remy is 2 for 3 today. 2 singles. I'm going to miss Remy this year in the booth.
2 outs, base is empty.
Here's Burleson. Could be an error here by Orta. Let's see. There's no error, so Orta makes the play. And a pitcher's duel right here, 2-1. Bottom of the 8th inning.
Bottom of the 8th.
Torres might get through this game. We're going complete game here. Ground ball back to Torres. He's got it, so 1 down.
1 out, base is empty.
And here is Nordhagen. He flies up to Evans. Dwight Evans has been active today.
2 outs, base is empty.
Here comes Kessinger. He's 1 for 2. Ground ball to Hobson. It could be trouble for Butch. He makes the play again. Butch Hobson, Gold Glove winner, 78th. I'm calling it right now. Give him the Gold Glove. All right, top 9. Jimmy's up. He struck out twice, and they intentionally walked him. We would like some insurance runs right here, folks. Ground ball to Kessinger, and they got him. So Rice is hitless. Let's see if Steve Stone gets a boost check. He does not receive a boost.
1 out, base is empty.
So Steve Stone now is gonna on fumes right now. Not on B grades yet, but close. Yaz flies up to Chet the Jet.
2 outs, base is empty.
Here comes Pudge. And Pudge flies out. So 2-1. We're good about the 9th inning, 2-1.
Bottom of the 9th.
We got Torres up. Torres has got 3 batters left in his arsenal, unless he gets a little boost, which he might. We'll see. Ralph Garr, top of the order up for the White Sox. Fouls it out to Burleson again. Burleson's done that twice today. Caught 2 foul pop-ups. Showing that range over there. Here's George Orta, who's homered in this game. And he strikes out. So the Red Sox are 1 out away from going 1-0 in the 78 season. Opening day. And here is Lamar Johnson. Let's take care of business here, folks. Let's take care of business. And a base hit. A base hit. Let's see the boost check. He gets a boost check. So we're going to keep Torres in the ball game.
Man on first.
I mean, should I keep him in? Let me see. He's got 2 outs. Bonds is up. Should I mess around? Should I bring in? I mean, who would I bring in? I look at the whip. Okay, so this is their actual whip. You know, whip to me is my favorite stat. I don't look at the ERA as much. I don't think the ERA can be, especially for bullpen guys, it can be a little bit screwy. So really the best guy in my bullpen, okay, well, Tiant technically has the best guy in my bullpen, is Bob Stanley, which scares the crap out of me. Do I really want to bring in Bob Stanley on opening day? It's Bobby Bonds. You know what? We're going to stick with Torres. Big free agent pickup in the offseason. You know what? We're gonna roll with Torres here. If he hits a home run, I'm going to cry.
They're bringing in a pinch runner.
We're going to pinch runner now. Alan Bannister comes in to pinch run. All right, here we go. Come on. Could be trouble for Dwight Evans. Let's take a look. Looping drive to right field. Dwight Evans. Dewey makes the play because Dwight Evans is the best. And that ends the ball game. Let's all shake hands. Let's shake hands. Let's shake hands. 2-1 Red Sox. They get a 1-0 in the game. Mike Torres goes to 1-0 in the season. Steve Stone 0-1. Mike Torres the MVP of the game as well. He should have been. We'll auto-play the rest of the games to the finish here, and we'll check out the scores in this one. Let's take a look at the Dodgers beat the Braves 13-5. Don Sutton beat the Phil Negro there. Let's take a look at the Red Legs. The Reds go to 0-2 in the season. 4-0. They have not scored a run yet. They got shut out yesterday. 8-0 by J.R. Richard. And they lose today 4-0. So the Reds are 0-2, haven't scored a run yet in 78. That's just for Adam Gould, our Reds fan. Let's take a replay. Valley right there. Al Woods with the big day for the Blue Jays. Game of the day was the Brewers and the Orioles. 5, 4, and 10 innings right there. So the Red Sox are in first place right now with the Tigers and the Brew Crew. Indians and Yankees yet to play. Orioles and Blue Jays 0-1. Mariners and Twins have played 3 games already, for crying out loud. Strange schedule in 78. Cubbies are in first place. Look at that. Tied with Montreal and Philadelphia. And the Houston Astros are 2-0. Reds 0-2 in that one. So tomorrow, I'm not going to stream tomorrow probably because I got lots of crap to do tomorrow. But next time I stream, I'm going to try to stream every game. It may take like about a year and a half, but I don't give a crap. We're gonna do this. Next game, we've got Dennis Eckersley, the Eck, who was acquired in a trade with the Indians. If you know that story, okay, this is another great story. Watch the documentary on Dennis Eckersley. It's a really good documentary. Anyway, his best friend on the Indians was Rick Manning. And Rick Manning, Dennis Eckersley's wife cheated on him with Rick Manning. And it was like a one fling affair thing. They like moved in together and got married and had kids and stuff. And so apparently that's what made the Indians trade him. He was 23 years old at the time. And they traded him, I think, just because it was getting kind of awkward in the clubhouse a little bit. And that's how the Red Sox got Eckersley. And, of course, he was really good in 78. He was good for a while. And then he kind of got the drinking issues caught up with him. Went to the Cubs. He drank some more in Chicago. And then he went to Oakland and got clean and sober and found a new role as closer. And the rest, as I say, is history. So that'll be tomorrow. Our next game we play. He's facing Frank Barrios. I don't know who Barrios is. I never heard of Barrios. Who is that dude? Francisco Barrios. Never heard of the guy. That's who he's facing tomorrow. So Eckersley against Francisco Barrios in game 2 of the season. And of course, the Yankees open their season. We'll keep an eye on that one. Ron Guidry against John Matlack in a battle. That's it for this. Thanks for watching, guys. Gouldy, I'm gonna tweet you in a little while. I'm gonna message you my number. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. El Red Sox fan. Have a good day, buddy. I'm gonna check you out your stream out your boxing video a little later on. And of course, Sports Time Machine. We'll see you later as well. Bye, guys.